Welcome everyone to another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. I'm Steve G, and what we have this time is the Kohetsu HAP40 Western Petty 150mm knife. So this knife has a core cutting edge steel of what's known as HAP40. It's a semi-stainless steel. The trick about HAP40 is it's very hard. It can be treated to quite a high hardness, and it has extremely high edge retention. You've got to work a little bit to sharpen it, but if you've got good quality, high-performance stones, it's not that bad to sharpen. But the heat treat's on this about 65 Rockwell, which is very hard. So this is known to have extreme edge retention. So if that's something that's something that you want, this delivers it in spades. It can be a little bit brittle because it's so hard, so you got to kind of keep an eye on the edge. But this is excellent in a prep environment, commercial environment where you need a lot of edge retention to do a lot of stuff and not have to sharpen it, touch it up too often. Or in home environment, as long as you're careful with it and don't treat it roughly and mine that edge a little bit, it'll still keep an edge for a long time. What they do is put a soft stainless cladding on either side of that core steel. So it's a 3-layer construction. So it's stainless over semi-stainless. In some cases, people do find that the stainless cladding does stain just a little bit, so you might see that happen. Don't be alarmed if it does that. The handle on this it's a full tang construction, but it's mahogany handle, appropriately sized, nice kind of feel to the handle, but it is full tang construction and 3 stainless rivets. You've got a nice integrated bolster that goes right into the blade, so real nice fit and finish on that. That does bring the balance point back because that full tang is heavier, and it's a small blade. So the balance point on this is kind of right about where that bolster hits the wood. Let's see what else. Let's look at the dimensions and the weight. Weight on this one's 90 grams or 3.2 ounces. Edge length is about 148 millimeters on this sample, or 5.8 inches. Overall length's about 256 millimeters or 10.1 inches. And then the spine thickness, these are pretty stiff blades. Spine, not real thick. Got about 1.9 millimeters at the back on the spine thickness and about 1.75 on halfway down. And it doesn't really taper off too much from that, but where it kind of just starts thinning out, you don't really see it, but it kind of thins out towards the tip. You can see that tip get thinner. It's not really super skinny at the tip, but it thins out pretty nicely there. And then it's not a tall knife, of course, but here's the choil shot. It's not super skinny at the edge, but thin enough it'll do a nice job through product. Height-wise, not real tall. It's about 29, a little over 29 millimeters tall, so really not going to have much room for your fingers on a pinch grip for a cutting board clearance, but you do have a kind of a quick transition from the choil into the blade neck there. For a pinch grip, it's going to be a little bit handle heavy, of course, being a full tang handle and a small blade. Let's get our beauty shot here. So this has embossed kanji on the right side of the blade. There you go. And then you can see there's a polish here that they throw on. They kind of do some thinning on the right side of the blade. That's that real shiny part, but you can kind of see the cladding layer there, and then they throw a little more thinning kind of grind on the edge on the right side of the blade. The left side of the blade, they typically don't do that. That's easier to show you the line there. So there's the line between the cladding and the core steel. Hopefully you can pick that up right there. Fit and finish, they did a nice job on it. They did polish the spine a little bit. It's not sharp on the corners, but they didn't really round it a whole lot. Same thing, the choil. It's a little bit sharp. It's not too bad, but you could probably clean that up a little bit if it bothered you with a little strip of sandpaper and shoe shine polish that and clean that up a little. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. The front, in terms of edge sharpness out of the box, the front part of the blade was pretty sharp, but the back half really wasn't as sharp, so a little inconsistent on that. But it'll get a lot sharper if you do your part out of the box. If you do want to use this on the cutting board, let's take a look at that. All right, so here's your cutting board profile. So it kind of flows into a stop towards the back, fairly high tip in terms of the belly and where it is, so I can get that thing way up in there before it starts to dig in, right in there. So this will rock real nice over things. You can do tip draws with it, a little bit of chopping towards the back. So I'd say pretty versatile type of edge profile. A tip for you is if you've got a blade that's not very tall like this, if you've got a cutting board that's a little thicker like this one, you can just work off the edge of the board if you need some room for your fingers for clearance, or if you got a board that's not very tall, you could work that near the edge of your countertop to keep your hand off the countertop for clearance, although food will tend to come off the countertop on the floor a little bit more, but it's an option for you. So if you're looking for something, especially in a pro environment with great edge retention, easy to take care of, nice fit and finish, just nice package. It's easy to use. This is the Kohetsu HAP40 Western handled petty 150mm knife from Chef Knives to Go.